Hey guys, it's Fletch. Welcome back to Fletch Does It. Today we're going to be looking at where's the Weasel? Specifically the quote-unquote fearless leader of the three-letter agency that controls investing here in the good old US of A. And we're also going to talk about Musk's new Twitter coin, about Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, CZ, and a few other random topics thrown in. Stick around, we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. Let's start off by talking about where is the fearless leader SEC, and from this point we'll just call it the three-letter agency, is nowhere to be found. And the only thing that they've recently been able to demonstrate that they're actually doing is they're now going after a bunch of low-level crypto creators that apparently were doing some creative financing or something, who knows, but yet, was nowhere to be found on all of these debacles with these cryptocurrency exchanges running fast and loose, so to speak, with the American taxpayers' money. Supposedly, the reason why we have that three-letter agency is to protect the little guy, to protect the investors. Man, I don't know. From everything I'm seeing, it's certainly looking more like that what they're really after is to protect the interests of the big banks in this country. For me, I don't have much faith in that organization and who's running it. I think we've also seen there's quite a bit of circumstantial and or anecdotal evidence anyways, that there's plenty of reason to be skeptical about what they're doing and how they're doing it. Someone, quote unquote, should probably look into that. A couple of other interesting tidbits that I came across today. Alameda Research was supposed to be, from the testimony today, Alameda Research was supposed to be one of the biggest clients of Tether. So, yeah, that's not good. For those of you that don't know, Tether has already paid some pretty freaking huge fines in the state of New York for cooking the books. The trouble, quote unquote, may not be over in the crypto markets anytime soon, unfortunately. Having that in mind, guys, remember, not your keys, not your crypto. When you store your cryptocurrencies on an exchange, legally, it ain't yours. And depending on how that all happens and how that all goes down, and also understand that they're actually changing the Uniform Commercial Code, or the UCC, and they're making changes about custody of crypto assets. So if you haven't had a chance or opportunity to look at that, you might want to do that again. On top of everything else, speculation, whatever, about dirty dealings of that three-letter agency, Tom Emmer, who is a politician, has come out and said that the leader of that agency knew what was going on, and on his post on Twitter, he cites some document, I would guess, that he had access to through, and it's just, like a snippet of it, right? It wasn't the whole document. It was just showing you a specific example of something, somehow claiming that the fearless leader knew about it. And if that's the case, I don't think he's going to be in that position much longer. Obviously, if that's the case, then he deserves whatever happens. Recently, someone on Twitter asked Elon if he was going to be creating a Twitter coin, so to speak. For me personally, I thought this was fascinating. As anyone that's ever been in business knows, that it's not all about having the best product or the best idea. There's a lot more that goes into that about the success of a business or project. And that has to do with the backing and word of mouth and the people promoting whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so for whatever it's worth, on this Twitter coin thing. If you see a news story that has to do with Elon and other prominent people in the crypto community helping to develop this, in my opinion, that would definitely be something that I would be tracking and would want to know about. And guys, understand, in the couple of the last videos that I've done, I've talked about how the Bitcoin is basically the AOL, the early internet. Back when the internet first started, if you would have told them about, how prolific Amazon was, people probably would have thought you were crazy. In my opinion, gang, the most valuable, the most used, whatever cryptocurrency hasn't even been created yet. However, if there is something to the Twitter coin, in my opinion, that would definitely be something to track and to obviously get involved in if that was the case. Another thing that recently came up from Kevin O'Leary's testimony today, basically he threw CZ and Binance under the bus, in my opinion. Mostly what he was stating was that the reason why it failed was because CZ dumped the FTT token. That's the takeaway, so to speak, from his testimony. Guys, this is just poppycock. Yeah, there ain't no meat on that bone. That dog don't hunt. Because here's the sad facts. Had Alameda Research and FTX been running their respective companies like a responsible company that handles millions and billions of dollars, a little dump like this from CZ, yeah, it might have hurt, but it certainly wouldn't have flattened the whole house of cards that they clearly have and had. Okay, guys, and speaking of CZ, of Binance, something else to keep in mind is that BitBoy and a couple other people have been saying for a while now that SBF, or Sam Bankman-Fried, and Gary Gensler, or GG, were having meetings and they were planning legislation that would greatly favor FTX while hamstringing everyone else in the industry. If that's true, right? And, like I said, if that's true, then I don't blame CZ, and in my opinion, he did us all a favor. Nothing that CZ did made FTX be the way that it was. It was already that way. He basically just gave the house of cards a little push, and that's all it took, if you know what I'm saying. Another takeaway from the meeting was there was testimony that basically what they were in my opinion, what they were intimating was that cryptocurrencies as a payment protocol, so to speak, had failed. And guys, this, in my opinion, this just gets right back to the same old, what's the narrative? What's the politically correct thing to say here? Because that simply is not true. There are several payment companies that are out there like Ripple and XRP that have been going for 10 years and have a very well running blockchain as well as a cryptocurrency that is used on it, and is currently being used over much of the world outside of the US. Of course, many people would speculate that will, of course, change once the settlement or, the judge's verdict comes out, and we can all move forward from there. A couple other things of note that I came across that I felt the need to share with you all out there is that Dr. Craig Wright did a complete analysis of the spread from the top 45 exchanges. More than 29 million Bitcoin was for sale. Yeah. How many Bitcoins are there? 19 million and change. So 29 million, 19 million. Obviously, someone's cooking their books. And so just another indicator that the rapids in the crypto community are not yet over. If I were y'all, I would definitely get any crypto that I had off of any exchange and just hold it in your cold storage wallet or a software wallet on your computer or phone or however you're doing it. But do not, in my opinion, I repeat, do not hold it on a cryptocurrency exchange. Folks are still waiting to hopefully get some money back from the Mt. Gox debacle when that happened. You don't want to put yourself in that boat. Don't leave your money there. And remember, not your keys, not your crypto. If wherever you're putting your cryptocurrencies doesn't allow you and you alone to have the keys, then it's not truly and completely yours. It's not like in a bank or something like that. And honestly, in a way, that's kind of a joke too, because they're able to, loan out money, 10 to 1 on deposits that they have. And so if there was a run on the banks, it would be the same. In my opinion, the only difference here is that the crypto industry is still pretty nascent at this point. They haven't yet had the opportunity to buy off enough politicians like the banking and industry has. There's a lot that goes into that too, but that's a rabbit hole for another story. And just a couple of closing thoughts. Biden said recently in a press conference that wages were going up faster than inflation. Common sense would clearly tell you that BS. And on top of that, it would certainly seem, unfortunately, that common sense ain't so common anymore. In my opinion, can you imagine if Trump said something like that? Oh, he would never hear the end of it. In my opinion, because Biden is on point of the talking points, so to speak, he'll never be challenged for it, or at least not, in the current government and political system that we have today. And speaking of our wonderful politicians, I'm sure that the politicians are going to be lining up to give all that money back, right? Yeah, right. Not going to happen, right? But as the old saying goes, this would be the politicians saying this: the laws are for thee and not for me. Right? Yeah, they're not giving the money back, even though they should. And guys, remember, shrinkflation is a real thing. I actually looked it up tonight. I was curious to see if it was actually like a quote unquote real word right now, and it is. Shrinkflation just simply means, guys, it's a form of hidden inflation. As an example, in the bottle of bleach, you're no longer getting a gallon, you're getting 3 quarts. So you took a 25% reduction in the size of the container, and they didn't lower the price. Actually, the price went up as well. And let's just say, for the sake of the demonstration here, it's 25%. The real rate of inflation that you're paying for that product is not 25%. It's 50%. You lost 25% of the product for the same price initially, plus the 25% that the price actually went up. So that's 50%. So the numbers that we're working with, the numbers that we're looking at right now, are not true and they're not accurate. And then lastly, real quick, I saw what, to me anyways, was a pretty disturbing statement that was put out there in the public today by Representative Katie Porter, a Democrat from California. And she said the terms groomer and pedophile allege that a person is criminal somehow merely because of their sexual orientation and gender identity, quote unquote. They also lamented that Twitter allowed groomer to reach 72 million users. For whatever it's worth, when did truth and when did protecting children become politically incorrect? Not only that, why should people be afraid of talking freely about subjects like this when they, especially from the, Twitter revelations? There are certainly people that are quote unquote powerful people that this is where they're headed and this is what they want for whatever it's worth. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. I do greatly appreciate it. Please leave your comments and questions below. As always, until we see you next time, we'll see you then.